Audrey Meadows, forever remembered as the witty and unshakable Alice Kramden on the Honeymooners, once opened up about her years working alongside Jackie Gleason, and what she revealed stunned even those who thought they knew the legendary comedian well. To the world, Gleason was the loud, funny, quick-tempered Ralph Kramden, whose blustery threats of "one of these days, Alice" were always followed by laughter. But behind that booming voice and quick wit was a man whose methods, moods, and mysteries made him both a genius and a challenge to everyone around him. Meadows described Gleason as a perfectionist with an unpredictable temperament, someone who demanded excellence from everyone but was also guided by deep instinct rather than strict preparation. He famously refused to rehearse more than once or twice, believing that genuine emotion only surfaced when the performance was fresh. For the rest of the cast, that meant walking onto the set never quite knowing what would happen next. Meadows recalled moments when props would break, lines would be forgotten, or scenes would go off script, but Gleason insisted on keeping those moments in the show, convinced that authenticity mattered more than polish. Meadows also revealed that while Gleason could be gruff and intimidating, there was a rare sensitivity beneath his hard exterior. He cared deeply about his cast, especially her, though he would rarely admit it. Their on-screen marriage reflected that same complicated balance of affection and frustration. There were days, she said, when Gleason would walk onto the set silent and moody, refusing to speak until the cameras rolled, and then transform into the magnetic comedian the world adored. It was as if he lived for those moments under the lights, when laughter and applause gave him life. Yet outside the studio, he often seemed lonely, a man chasing something that even success couldn't give him. As years passed, Meadows and Gleason stayed connected, even after the Honeymooners ended its original run. She admired his brilliance and respected his stubborn commitment to doing things his own way. When Gleason's health began to decline, she reached out to him one final time. In her words, she picked up the phone and said softly, "Jackie, it's Audrey. It's Alice. You're Alice." On the other end, his voice came through slow but strong. "I knew what I was doing. I always knew what I was doing to her." That sentence summed up everything about the man, his pride, his confidence, and his refusal to ever apologize for being himself. It was a moment of clarity and closure between two people who had shared something unique, something that could never truly be replicated. When Gleason passed away in 1987, networks wanted to create a tribute where Meadows would deliver a farewell speech as Alice Kramden, speaking as though Ralph had died. She refused. "Ralph didn't die. Jackie did," she told them firmly. For her, the difference mattered. Ralph was the character fans loved. Jackie was the real man she had known, argued with, laughed with, and respected. She wanted to honor him as the human being behind the legend, not the caricature America remembered. In later interviews, Meadows described Gleason as bigger than life in every sense. His humor, his appetite for work, his temper, and his charm. He lived in extremes, but that's what made him unforgettable. Her memories painted a portrait not just of a great comedian, but of a complicated, driven artist who demanded honesty from everyone around him. What shocked many fans was how real and raw their connection had been. Two strong personalities colliding and creating television magic out of chaos. Audrey Meadows' reflections revealed that Jackie Gleason wasn't just the great one because of his fame or talent. He was great because he poured every ounce of his soul into his work, flaws, and all. Even in his final words to her, that unshakable confidence, the belief that he always knew what he was doing, proved that Gleason lived exactly the way he wanted, unapologetic, unforgettable, and entirely on his own terms.